runs just like Zoom, but with board games and using the scan games that you already own.
Howdy, I'm Mike. I'm your board gaming every dude, and I wanted to show you guys something really cool that Blair here showed me called Vorpal Board. So if you've been playing through your solo games, but you do want to be able to either take them with you on vacation virtually or even play with others, he's going to show us a way we can do that. So why don't you go ahead and walk us through what we're looking at here?
So this is my scanned files of parks. And I've got the full player mat here, some of the game cards and the decks of cards that I built, as well as all the different components that way. So we've got.
Now, when you're talking about scanning, can you say more what's involved there?
So with you use a program on your phone, so all the components are scanned and housed on your cell phone. But you can actually get a wooden scanning box that you can see similar to above me there. But it's just a little glass box that you can put the cards in your cell phone, and it scans it at a little bit of a higher quality with the proper light and a pink background. But anything that doesn't fit in the box, they give you a larger pink sheet that you can roll out on a table and scan game boards or miniatures as well. So that's what I had to do for the meeples, because the meeples are a little bit too thick to go in the box.
And then what are some of these features? So if I right click, I get the little ellipses, and I see things like just a couple items like draw, shuffle, card backs. What are some of those things you can do here?
So the main functions that they have, if you're looking for just general functionality, there's a little question mark in the bottom corner that gives you all the hotkeys and what you can do. But for the game components itself, if you right click on anything, specifically cards, you can draw them to your hand, you can discard them back to a deck. You can flip them, so you can actually double click or hit F to turn them over so nobody can see what's on the other side. And you can also use R to rotate them. So in games that have you tap them or show that they're exhausted, you can exhaust the cards. Cards that are in your hand with visibility, if I actually pick this up to my hand, you can see that because I'm the white player, there's a white bar underneath of it to show that it's in my hand. And if I ever want to show that card to you, I can double click it, and it puts a little iris up there so that you can see, everyone can see that card at that point in time.
Okay, I've done that with the red one just to show. So it's the plain line, I'm the red player. That means that no one else can see it. And then the eyeball means that everyone at the table can see it.
Yeah, another one of the cool features and that I don't use as much, because believe it or not, we don't have too many games that have dice that I play on here, but you can actually create and customize your own dice as well. Okay. So for games like Star Wars Imperial Assault, that have the generic dice that you can really only use for that game, you can build them and roll them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it has all in the top left corner in the dice icon, it has all the D6, the D4, right up to D100, but you can build your own dice for games, for custom games. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
A little bit trickier to do, but it's a fun side project that way.
Okay. Now, you had mentioned a couple limitations. What are any of the limitations right now? I know you've mentioned that they do regular updates, but right now, what are some limits?
Limitations for games. There's been some games that I really wanted to scan in here, like Cascadia, Gods Love Dinosaurs, that have the hexagon pieces that you would like to rotate to fit into the different maps and score better points that way. But right now, you can only do the 4 rotations. So you can only do side to side and up and down. So that kind of poses some limitations, is that if you have the hexagon tiles, you can't necessarily rotate them into the spot that you want before placing them. Another one now is if there's anything like mahjong tiles or things that stack a lot on top of each other, once you get a lot of components going on top, it can be fine, but it it can take away from the experience too. Like you don't get the 3D effect of the tiles, and sometimes the components can jump behind and drop in below, so it's hard to pick up what you need without disturbing the whole stack.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Now I know there's a few other games you're going to showcase, but real quick, let's hop back over and tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, board gaming career is, I mean, it's not really a career, it's just more of a hobby and a passion of mine too. So I love introducing people, and thanks to Vorpal as well, I've met individuals like yourself, some other individuals off of Instagram as well that I would have never been able to connect or play a game with in person. So that's kind of expanded the players that I've had available to me. Solo games that I've enjoyed specifically as of late, number one, Marvel Champions for sure. That's absolutely got the most solo plays out of me, with the customization and the different hero and villain combinations that you can do, and it has some deck building in there as well. I really enjoyed, it's actually right there, Blackout Hong Kong as well. The solo game mode for that translates really well, and the Tiny Epic games too. The Tiny Epic Galaxy, Tiny Epic Kingdoms. Their solo modes were enjoyable, so I enjoyed trying those ones out too.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's check out a few other games. It looks like you've got one loading up right now. And also, if anybody's interested in it, the background, I've got the dark gray there, but I did learn today you can change the background color as well. So if you like another color, no problem.
Yeah,
all right,
and your color is different than mine. So I've got like a poker table green right now, so it customizes just for your view, so it doesn't affect anyone else that's logged in.
Very nice. And if if I'm zooming in and out, that only affects my screen, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the scanned components from the game that we played the other night, The Resistance. We had a fantastic 6-player game.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
With all the different tiles. Not too much to this game, but you've got the full game board, and I made it double-sided so that we have the one for 6 players and for 5 players, and a token here for if the spies win or the resistance win. So
very cool. Yeah, that was a great time. We had the 6-player game. I enjoyed the 5-player game, but the 6, the high play count does make just a little bit of a difference.
It really did. Like the 5 was entirely fine, but adding
it was a little easier to guess who it was, where with the 6, that was tricky.
Yeah. So how this works, like I talked a little bit about before, is that all the scan components are saved in my phone, so everything gets transferred over and imported from my phone.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull up.
So when you're loading this up, are you on your phone and on a laptop?
Yeah, so I'm playing on the laptop, but the game is actually running from my phone. So there's a Vorpal Board app that you hold all the games that you've scanned.
Okay.
And this is the Act 1 from the Jaws game there too.
Very cool. I'm going to zoom in on some stuff here because that's a beautiful board.
The board for this one came out really well. Even the shark meeple, it's not 3D, but it still looks scary if it does show up on the board. The double-sided shark ability cards and all the swimmers and events that go on the board here too. So
okay, yeah, this looks real nice.
Some of the bigger majority of the games that I have scanned in are card-based or tile-based, just because they're much easier to scan in. But it doesn't mean that you can't go for something a little bit more complicated. So I've got Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion scanned in here as well. Takes a little bit longer to pull up because there's a lot of scanned pieces in.
Some of this.
And this is one that doesn't have the board, because when we play this one, I will use the camera mounted above and just zoom in on the book that is the board. And then we can drag all the monsters out onto the board where they need to go, as well as your mini and your character of where it starts.
I'll put Blair's affiliate link in the description below, so you can take a look, and you'll see that there is the light box that you mentioned earlier, but now you're talking about the arm, right, that comes with it. So the arm goes over the table and it holds your phone as a camera?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah.
And then you live stream the board, but you're still using these components?
Yeah, we kind of do like a hybrid game. So you've got the live stream of the actual board or whatever you're taking a photo of there. You can do it as a video or as photos. So it'll just take a photo every 10 seconds if you don't want your phone battery to drain too much.
Okay.
And then you can incorporate the scan components onto it as well. Runs just like Zoom, but with board games and using the scan games that you already own. I run a game on Vorpal Board every Tuesday night. So we've dubbed it Tabletop Tuesday, and I throw out a list up there of the games that we're playing on the weekend. So you can look to see what games are coming up the following week. And, I encourage everyone to jump into it. We usually only do something that takes about an hour in advance, but if there's a game that you haven't had a chance to try, want to learn, or something that you just enjoy and want to jump into, please join us. The more the merrier. We love having people on there. And I love being able to teach people a game or let them play a game that they haven't had a chance to play in a long time as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I've hopped on for a couple of those too. Yeah. So you can follow him on his Instagram, and I'll also put that his handle in the description below.
Nice.
I've hopped on with that, so you could always join in with both of us when I can jump on there. And also be sure to check the next video up here, shows some good ideas for solo games. Thank you, Blair. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I love you all. Catch y'all next time.
Thanks.